Good morning everyone. Welcome back in financial services classes. So today we will learn about the structure of mutual fund in India. Okay. So here I have given you the small diagram which you can refer for quick reference. Okay. We usually tell in your mutual fund structure, we usually say that mutual fund is a three-tier structure in India, where the first tier used to be sponsor, then second tier used to be trustee, and the third tier used to be AMC, asset management company. Okay, so first we will check out about the sponsor, like who is sponsor and what actually he used to do or what are the eligibility. So let's start. About your fund sponsor, as a SEBI one I have written here, I have given you here. SEBI regulation says that a fund sponsor is any person or any entity that can set up a mutual fund to earn money by fund management. Okay, actually a sponsor you can see as a promoter of the associate company. Okay, a sponsor has to approach SEBI to seek permission for the setting up of mutual fund. Okay, and actually the position of sponsor is used to be crucial, and they should have the high credibility, that is important. And SEBI has given some eligibility criteria for fund sponsor, which one by one we will check out. Okay, so very first is here, the sponsor must have experience in financial services for a minimum of 5 years. Okay, so minimum 5 years of experience required for the sponsor in financial services, and then minimum 5 years with a positive net worth for all the previous 5 years. So the sponsor should have the positive net worth for all the previous 5 years. Then the next condition is the net worth of the sponsor in the immediate last year has to be greater than the capital contribution of the AMC. So how much sponsor is going to contribute the capital towards the AMC, that capital, make sure that the net worth of the sponsor in the immediate last year should be greater than to that capital contribution. The next we have to see, the sponsor must to show profit. Okay, so you should have the profit in at least 3 years of the last 5 years, 3 years of the last 5 years, including immediately preceding year. Okay, so last 5 years records you are going to take. Out of that 5 years, 3 years sponsor should have on the profit, and it should include your immediate preceding year. Okay, then next we have sponsor must have at least 40% shares. Okay, that means total net worth of the AMC. Okay, total net worth of the AMC, 40% must be participated by the sponsor. 40% must be participated by the sponsor. So if you have these all eligibility criteria, if you are able to pass these all eligibility criteria, posing these criteria, then you can become the sponsor. Okay, and sponsor can set as the first layer of the three-tier structure of mutual fund in India. Okay, and they have to get the approval, scheme approval from the SEBI. Clear? Then next part we will check trust and trustee. Okay, so trust and trustee, when we say the sponsor of mutual fund, forms a trust. Okay, and this trust must have the board of trustee. And most important, why we used to, or not we, sorry, why the sponsor has to form the trust, that is for the protecting the interest of unit holders and their invested money. Okay, the trust is formed through a certificate known as the trust deed. Okay, and it is implemented by the fund sponsor in the support of trustees or representatives. Fine. And trust has to take care of the trustee has to take care of the trust, and they are accountable to everyone who invested in the mutual fund. Okay. So, and they have to make sure that the undertakings of mutual funds are in compliance with the SEBI guidelines. Okay. So, whatever the SEBI has given the guidelines about the mutual fund, we'll check in the next class that also. Okay. So, making sure that undertakings of mutual funds are according to that only. Okay. It is a work or it is a duty of trustee. Okay. And every scheme should be pushed by the company, must be validated by the representatives, that is must be validated by the trustees only. So AMCs, whenever going to launch any scheme, initial stage it should be verified, it should be approved by the trustees only. Okay. And trustees another work is trustee has to prepare the half yearly report about AMC. Okay. And they have to forward the same to the SEBI also. Fine. And if we go for the strength, the minimum strength of the board must be 4 members. Okay. Minimum 4 members should be there. Okay. Next, check out. These all we have seen. The trustee is required to be registered under SEBI, and without the permission approval of the trustee, an AMC cannot float a new mutual fund schemes. As just now I told you, initially they have to approve it. Now the next tier, that is third tier of your structure of mutual fund, that is your asset management company. In shortcut, we used to say it as a AMC. Okay. The asset management company act as the fund manager or as an investment manager for the trust. Okay. So actually the asset management company set up to manage the funds and assets. Okay. So whatever the funds and assets are related to your mutual fund, the asset management company used to manage that. So you can say that asset management company is just an arm of the mutual fund. Okay. And it has to be listed, that is AMC has to be listed under the Regulation of Companies Act 1956. Okay. And officially it is or ideally it is called as the investment manager of the trust. Investment manager of the trust. And because reason is what? Because they are only going to float each and every new schemes. That is, they are only going to manage the fund. Okay. So here also we can see it initiates various schemes and launches the same. Okay. And just now as I told you, it is formed under the Companies Act. Fine. So you can see that asset management company is actually keep the track of funds and provides financial services to the shareholders. Okay. And actually asset management company is not allowed to take on any business activities other than those in the likes of portfolio management service. So you should not, if you're part of asset management firm, you can't take a part in any other business activities. Okay. And the company is not permitted to take up the role of trustee of any of its mutual fund. So if you're acting as a asset management company, you should be only the asset management company. You can't take up the role of trustee in any of its mutual fund. Fine. So that was your about AMC. Next we have the custodian. Fine. So custodian is responsible for safekeeping of the securities of mutual fund. Okay. And if we say that what actually their work, so I have listed something for you here also. Okay. Meaning again I'll repeat, custodian is responsible for the safekeeping of the securities. Okay. And these custodians are also registered with the SEBI, and they are responsible for transfer and delivery of units, and securities, fine, and they have to also go for the updating the investors holding, okay, and helping them to keeping track of their investment. And along with the job of safekeeping, custodians are also in charge of collection of corporate benefits like bonus issue, interest, dividends, etc. on behalf of the investors. Fine. So this is all about your custodian. Next we have in the structure registrar and transfer agent, that is RTAs. Okay. So they are the entities who provide services to mutual fund, and they are more likely operational arm of mutual fund. Okay. ITAs are SEBI's registered entities who process the applications of mutual fund, help with investors KYC, okay, know your customers, manage and deliver periodical statements of investments, and update records of investors, and process investors' request. Okay, so this is your ITA. Then if we say that what else they do, okay, so actually the registrar's main work is processing with the applications. Whenever the mutual fund is going to receive the applications from the investors, they have to handle those stockholders' requests. They have to document the particulars of individual shareholders. They have to distribute them account reports and other regularly paying outs, bonus, making modification in the information regarding stockholders, and keeping depositor papers updated. So these all are the work of your RTA. Okay. Now, apart from this RTA, okay, we used to have some other participants also in the structure of mutual fund. Other participants, okay, like your auditor can be there, your broker can be there, your banker can be there. Okay. If I say that auditor, then auditor makes sure that mutual fund is going to hire the auditor for their annual audit of AMC, and whichever auditor you are hiring, make sure that auditor is nowhere, okay, associated with the asset management company, to make sure the transparent audit of your statements. Fine. And then broker, as we know, broker help for buy and sale of the securities. So this is all about your structure of mutual fund, where again if we quickly recheck, we have a 3-tier: sponsor, trustee, and then your AMC, and with that custodian and RTA. Sponsor, who used to actually act as the promoter of mutual fund, who has to fulfill some eligibility criteria as per the SEBI to become the sponsor. For example, we can say SBI mutual fund, SBI was the sponsor. Okay, so they have to fulfill some criterias, and then sponsor used to form the trust and appoint the trustees for regulating the mutual funds and making sure that it runs as per the guidelines. So sponsor has to go for the trust deed and has to get approval for the same trust deed by the SEBI, and then continue the appointment of trustee. And trustee, what they used to do? They used to do the take care of funds of the mutual fund, and they have to initially approve each and every schemes issued by the AMC. And then we have the asset management company. Sponsor has to establish this also as per the Companies Act 1956. Okay, and AMC used to launch each and every schemes. They only used to take the decisions about buying and selling. They are actually the fund managers. And then we have the custodian, who used to go for the safekeeping of the securities, and then we have the RTA, which do all the clerical work like processing of application on behalf of the mutual fund. And apart from these 5, I told there are some other participants also, like your broker, auditor, and banker. Okay, auditor makes sure that auditors are nowhere associated with your asset management company for transparent and fair audit of the statement. Okay, because auditor work is what? They used to audit and scrutinize record books of accounts and annual reports of various scheme. So if they will be independent auditor, then only they can go for the transparency. Okay, and broker, very simple service, buy and sell securities on the stock market. So kindly go for the day. Okay, structure of mutual fund, and next class probably I'll give you the picks, that is notes picks, because we have to go for the SEBI guidelines for mutual fund. So for the day, have a nice day. Thank you.